Hello, it's the return of Top 5, and we will deal with, mostly on this occasion, with transfer stories, because it's that time of the year where agents are looking for new contracts or to move their clients, and it's a time to make noise. The problem is, of course, generally there is a lot of noise, and generally a lot of the noise is just that, noise. But it is a moment for the players also to evaluate how well they've done and if they should move on, or if the club is treating them as they want to. So there is lots at stake, and of course there is always two or three top clubs that are in need of new players, and that also gives the possibility of things moving around. So we will deal with some of those top clubs and some of those top players. Let's start with Pogba. A lot of rumours have started suggesting that Real Madrid want Pogba. Clearly, Zinedine Zidane admires Pogba, and Pogba has been flirting with Real Madrid. When that happens, it's because somebody wants something to happen, but doesn't necessarily mean it will happen. Pogba has backed Solskjaer, Manchester United, don't want to get rid of Pogba, and the money that he will cost Real Madrid is something that at the moment Real Madrid are not willing to pay. Now it's interesting because Real Madrid are actually trying to get new investors to bring into the club the new money via sponsorship or bonds. And the suggestion is that they looking to do that in the States especially. Just money that will allow, number one, to rebuild the stadium, but also to give the facility of Real Madrid using money to get new players coming in and to do the big changes that Zidane wants to do, big in terms of some of the names that are involved, but not big in terms of the number of players that are going to come in or out. It's not going to be a massive change. Count on 3-4 new players for Real Madrid, and that's all. And they won't be the big names. We dealt with Pogba. I don't think it's going to happen, even though the rumours will continue. It's Mino Raiola, after all, who runs the life or the professional life of Pogba, and he likes to be in the news constantly. But it's not the kind of investment. Some people put even 500 million is what it will cost Real Madrid to bring Pogba to Real Madrid, not just in terms of transfer fee, but wages as well. Forget it. It is not something that Real Madrid are contemplating right now. Well, how about Neymar? Neymar's dad has actually come out with the line that they may renew the contract with PSG. Why? Because all of a sudden there's a lot of talk about Real Madrid going for Mbappe. And because Neymar has considered the possibility of going to Real Madrid, it's disappointing from his point of view that actually Real Madrid are not looking to get him right now. Why? Because the 2 or 3 times where they tried, they got the a big block, which is PSG. They don't want to get rid of Neymar and of Mbappe. We'll talk of Mbappe in a minute, but they don't want to get rid of Neymar. He's the key element, of course, of what PSG are trying to do. Tuchel is going to get soon a new contract, and he wants everybody, the big names, to stay put. And so does the owners of PSG, that, remember, they use PSG a little bit as a business card to show that they deal with big names. They've got no problem with it. They improve things and they run businesses in a very professional manner. They have been disappointed, of course, this season to have been knocked out by Manchester United. Some will say unfairly, but that's football, and that is also the risk of putting everything, your prestige, in a competition like the Champions League, which really is a knockout competition. So PSG don't want Neymar to go, and Real Madrid have realized that it's an impossibility to get Neymar this summer. So how about Mbappe? Well, Mbappe is the interesting one. Mbappe, who's growing every day in front of our eyes, who's becoming a goal scorer with his power, with his effectiveness, with his intelligence in his movement. I think he's shaking off some of the things that perhaps a year ago you would say He doesn't need any of that. Doesn't need the show off. Doesn't need to almost sometimes laugh at the rivals. No need of that. He's becoming a very effective goal scorer and taking away Cristiano and Messi, perhaps the best player in the world right now. In any case, it is somebody that again Real Madrid have been flirting with. There's been the suggestion that there is already a personal agreement with the player, and let's say that the player know how much Real Madrid are willing to pay, and it will be around the money that Bale is getting at the moment, which is about 12 million euros net. That's what they're willing to pay Mbappe. But PSG don't want to negotiate. So what will Real Madrid do? They're waiting for Mbappe to get at the end of his contract. And because that's only 3 years down the line, and he will be, 24 then, 23, 24, he could go for free. And Mbappe himself has said that he's going nowhere this summer anyway, because I think also in his mind the idea is down the line, maybe with a year left in his contract, maybe at the end of his contract, he'll go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are counting on that too. So they've got to go the route that we discussed in the past, which is Hazard. Now will be the favorite, of course, to go to Real Madrid. And how about Eriksen? Because he's gone quiet since Zidane arrived to Real Madrid. And the reason could be the next person we're going to talk about. Pjanic is somebody that Real Madrid are very interested in. And Zidane, if he was given the choice of Eriksen and Pjanic, he will go for Pjanic. The problem is, of course, Pjanic has got a longer contract left than Eriksen has. And with Eriksen not signing for Spurs, I'm waiting to see what happens as well if Real Madrid's interest gets concrete into an offer, which hasn't happened yet, and he feels that Spurs are allowing him to go, then he may just push that way. But that has gone quiet because Real Madrid really fancy the idea of having Pjanic in the side. Competitive, creative, a new Modric. That's what they're looking for. So Jose Angel Sanchez, who's the number 2 at Real Madrid, has met the agent of Pjanic and who's also the agent of Luka Jovic, which is the striker that Barcelona have put as their priority next season, despite the fact, and we'll talk about Griezmann in a minute, despite the fact that Griezmann is willing to go to Barcelona right now. But the meeting was not so much about Luka Jovic. It seems it was more about Pjanic. Juventus won't make it easy. That's very earlier on. As I said, the first meeting only took place 2 days ago with Real Madrid and Pjanic's agent, but they are looking to another alternative to Eriksen. Finally, for the top 5, I don't know if I've done 5 or 6, I can't remember now, but in any case, Coutinho is one that we need to keep talking about. As I said to you, Barcelona said, we're not getting rid of him, we're not selling him, so Liverpool are not interested in bringing him back either with the kind of money that it will cost if Barcelona sold, but they're saying they're not selling. So when Coutinho and his entourage realized that Barcelona are not actually opening the doors for him, I think his representatives are putting out there the impression via certain articles in the media, see the media can be very useful, that he will be willing to go, that he's told people in the national side that he's willing to go, that he wants to test himself. 2 things about that. One, if Barcelona don't want to sell, you're going to have to come round and you're going to have to try to improve and get the best you can be. 2, Barcelona are worried about Coutinho, not so much because they don't feel that he can fill a role, which is more a forward and a midfield, as I said from day one. But they feel that he doesn't come out of that kind of melancholic state in which he's in. So they want him to stay, they want him to prove his value. They think that we may see it in the next few weeks, months, this season already. It could be crucial. Imagine if he scores 1 or 2 goals that allow Barcelona to get into the Champions League final. Then we will be talking differently about Coutinho. But they are concerned that he seems a little bit depressed, down. Depressed is, I'm used that word because it's been used within the club. They don't seem as happy and as sharp as he has been in the past. So it's one situation to keep an eye on, but I'm telling you, Barcelona is saying right now they're not getting rid of Coutinho. Some will say, well, that's what they have to say. Yes, but if they were thinking of something else, if they were thinking to invite the Premier League clubs that may be interested in him to start talking about his future, then they wouldn't be so strong in their determination to keep the player. But having heard that, the player is going like, yeah, but I'm not sure I'm happy here. So let's keep an eye on it. And that's it for now. So time to rest. Remember, there'll be Ask Guillem at the beginning of the week. And at the end of the week, we will get more top fives. All sponsored, as you know, by Football Index.